We've all seen pictures of them, the giants of Easter Island. While some believe that these monoliths were actually built by aliens, the Easter Island heads are the sign of ancient beings visiting our planet, but instead the remarkable work of the people of Rapa Nui. The Rapa Nui, also known as the Easter Island, is part of Chile in the South Pacific and is considered to be among the most remote islands that is still inhabited, with around 7,750 people living on the island as of 2017. Historians believe that Polynesians first came to the island in 1200 AD and founded a strong culture. Over time, deforestation and the arrival of European explorers decimated the population, with its lowest being in the low 100s. The Easter Island heads, known as the Moai, were carved by the ancient Rapa Nui inhabitants between 1250 and 1500 AD. These monoliths were carved at the Rano Raraku, a volcanic crater that is currently part of the Rapa Nui National Park and was used as a rock quarry for 500 years. The stones from this quarry are known as volcanic tuff, which is volcanic ash that has been fused together. Almost 400 Moai statues still reside at the Rano Raraku in various forms of completion. It is understood that the quarry itself was divided into different areas for each clan. The history of the Raraku Nui say that the Moai were carved by distinguished master craftsmen or high-ranking members of the clans. It is believed that the Moai themselves are the faces of the deified ancestors of the Rapa Nui people, who face inwards towards the family's clan lands and watch over their descendants. A recent study also notes that the statue's locations around the island also noted the location of freshwater sources and brackish groundwater, which is a combination of saltwater and freshwater. Think of it like really awful Gatorade. It is believed that this is how the Rapa Nui people survived on an island that did not receive much rainfall and had no real freshwater springs. It isn't completely known how the people moved the statues to the various locations, as volcanic tuff is easy to carve but incredibly heavy. Some people believed that they used a system of ropes, manpower, and wooden sleds. Some oral traditions say the Moai walked to their resting places using divine power. This has been translated into the people using ropes and essentially shimmying them back and forth. There are myths that say a king called the power of the god Maki Maki to allow the Moai to walk, and of an old hermit woman who lived in the hills who could command them. Originally, it was believed that the statues were nothing more than heads, and while some of them are, it was later discovered that some of the statues have full bodies that were buried under decades of volcanic erosion. The statues mostly all have the same basic characteristics, with wide heads, square chins, and wide noses. Usually they are squatting with their arms at their sides. Most of them have deep eye sockets, and it was later discovered that these sockets originally contained white coral for eyes, with other stones for pupils. The Moai would also feature carvings or paintings on their backs, which would mirror the traditional tattoos that the Rapa Nui people would have. These tattoos would later disappear once European missionaries arrived to convert the people. Some of the Moai also featured a pukao, which was the top knot that represented a chieftain in the Rapa Nui culture. These were generally carved from redstone, which was a sacred color to the Polynesians. The statues themselves generally sit on a stone platform known as an ahu. There are two different Moai that are unusual from the rest. While the majority of the Moai face inward, watching over their clans, there is a set of 7 that face outward. The Ahu Akivi are said to provide protection for navigators on the sea. Myths tell that the statues also represent the 7 scouts who remained on the island after its discovery, waiting for the arrival of their king. The second Moai that is not like the others is the Tuku Turi. This Moai features a beard and is carved into a kneeling position. It is believed that the Tuku is a singer from an ancient Rui festival. The Tuku is also carved from a red stone that can be found in the Puna Pao quarry. It does, however, sit in the Rano Raraku quarry. It is believed to be one of the last Moai to ever be carved. The Easter Island Moai were a mystery for a long time, but in recent years we have learned much more about their purpose and the history of the people who carved them. While we still do not know everything about them, we can all agree that they weren't created by aliens. Probably.